Hello once again, and welcome along to the latest production here at Andy Holding speedfigures.co.uk on YouTube. Very warm welcome to this little segment, which looks back at last week's best time figures. We begin by looking at a very good maiden run at Naas on the 26th of April. It was won by Gerlines' Party House, having her debut. This filly by Camelot, starting very eye-catching in the latter stages. She looked in trouble. Or looked as though she was only going to get a place. I wouldn't say she looked as though she was in trouble because she was running well above her station. But to finish off the race the way she did and to actually get up in the latter stages, win going away, was a huge positive result from a stable that usually leave a little bit to work with first time out with their fillies. And she clocked a very healthy speed figure into the bargain. There's no doubt in my mind that this filly is definitely pattern class. Whether Gerlines goes down that route next time out remains to be seen. He might go for a winners of one before he steps up in class. But she did a good number, a 92 on our speed figures, which is certainly above average for the grade. She's one to keep an eye on. Over to the UK then, and looking at the two-year-olds, one of the best two-year-olds, if not the best two-year-old seen so far, certainly on the figures over 5 furlongs, is Chipotle, winner of the Brocklesby first time out for Eve Johnson-Horton. Managed to step up on that performance, next time out at Ascot in pretty impressive style. The gatekeeper, with the previous experience of a win at Musselburgh, took them along at a very strong pace. And Chipotle picked up quite well, despite racing a little bit keen in the early stages, found plenty for pressure in the final couple of furlongs. Did a good back-end sectional as well to add to the overall time of 88, which is just slightly ahead on our best numbers we've got for juveniles. And on the evidence of that, certainly worthy of a place in one of the races chosen by Connections at the Royal Ascot meeting in another month's time, probably likely to be the Windsor Castle. On to the Thursday, and Mandoob is the next one in question. An unraced horse going into its Lingfield debut for Brian Meehan. Came out of that contest with flying colours, managed to run down a couple of strongly fancied Godolphin horses in the latter stages, again clocking a very good time for that level of race. And the fact that it won first time out for Brian Meehan, you certainly always upgrade a horse that manages to achieve that feat. The circuit time that I operate with here at Lingfield, a little path, a little marker going away from the stands, leads me to believe that Mandu is very much a listed or Group 3 horse in the making. He did a 1:56.6 circuit time, which is in keeping with something in and around what the Winter Derby horses tend to do over a mile and a quarter at their very best. So he was obviously operating at a very good level. So keep an eye on Mandoob going forward. On to Saturday in Poetic Flare, as you'd imagine, clocked a big number when winning the 1,000 guineas. It looks a good race on paper beforehand, and the overall time figure of 98 certainly suggests that's the case. He looks very much a miler. I don't think he's going to be running in any derbies or derby trials further down the line. And the race, as an overall product, didn't really look as though it was going to produce anything for the Classic at Epsom in another month's time. Most of them will probably be dropping back in triple, staying in around the mile. Certainly favourable mentions for one or two in behind including, of course, Master of the Seas, who won the Craven. Well, that was a decent effort by him. Several disappointments in the race, most notably Wembley and Thunder Moon, who looks as though he hasn't really trained on or grown much from 2 to 3. But Poetic Flare, another rabbit out of the hat there for Jim Bolger. Onto a handicap at Thurscon Saturday, and the race we're going to look at here is the Thurscon Cup, the big race of the year there regards handicappers. Went the way of Storting for the Fink Shannon stable, clocked a 97, which is certainly listed or Group 3 standard. He'll probably go to something like the Royal Hunt Cup at Ascot now, you'd imagine, in a month's time. And also the second as well, he's worth noting, Nugget, who came out in the best sectional from 3 out in that particular race, did 33 and change, which is very healthy. And he certainly backed up the impression he created last time out, when he won the Spring Cup at Newbury, once again in a very fast time. He's a horse going places in a rush. So those are the 5 on the flat that I suggest we need to keep an eye on for the future. Just play lip service to a couple of horses who did big numbers at the Punchestown Festival over jumps. Of course, the end of the jump season as it is now. But Honeysuckle rounded off her year in spectacular fashion, winning the Irish, not the Irish Champion, no, but the big race, the big Grade 1 there on the Friday, clocking an 81, which is by far and away her best number, even surpassing the number that she achieved at the Cheltenham Festival in the Champion Hurdle. And she did it as well, considering A lot of Henry de Bromhead's horses, in general terms, have been a little bit under par of late, so she must be very, very good. The other good time of the week was Clan de Zobo, winning the big 3 mile chase, Grade 1, in flooring the colours of, or lowering the colours of Album Photo. Tremendous performance on the front, jump travelled, and certainly deserved to take that prize given the way he went through the race. One would imagine now he'll be campaigned on flat tracks over 3 miles in the UK next season. And the cheek pieces, which were seen to good effect at Aintree, looked as though they've definitely worked the oracle with Paul Nicholls' charge. The King George would probably be his #1 target for next season. Okay, that's it for this segment. Thanks very much for your company, and we'll do exactly the same again for next week, highlighting all the best times from May the 3rd onwards. So until next week, it's bye from me for now.